Today I wanted to figure out, can you beat ULTRAKILL as a pacifist? I wanted to try beating the entire game Prelude to Violence without killing a single enemy. And I quickly discovered in the very first room of the game that no, you can't do that. It's not possible. But this led me to discover a new question. How many enemies do you have to kill to beat ULTRAKILL? And now what I mean by this is, how many enemies does the game require you personally to physically kill? If an enemy kills itself by jumping off a map or jumping into a crusher, that doesn't count. So how many enemies do you have to personally kill to beat ULTRAKILL? Well, that's what I decided to set off and find out. As I just mentioned, we have to fight the very first enemies in the game. The 11 filth that spawn in the first room are a mandatory kill if you're starting on a new save, because you cannot break the secret hidden entrance to the rest of the level with just the standard piercer and the feedbacker. However, these are the only filth and the only enemies that we have to kill in this entire level. Let me explain. There is a very famous clip in this level known as Pipe Clip, where you slide up a pipe and clip through the map. It's in the name, Pipe Clip. And that lets you skip to the very end of the level, right to the boss room usually, where you'll go and kill Maurice. But what is less known is that the exit to the level actually spawns the same time that Maurice spawns, which usually isn't the case. So we can actually load in the Maurice room, reload our checkpoint, pipe clip again, and then just jump to the end of the level while out of bounds, meaning that we don't have to fight Maurice at all. O-2 quickly throws us into a room that looks like we have to kill a ton of filth and strays, but actually there's a grinder at the back of the room that all of the filth are just gonna jump into because we're playing brutal, which means the only enemies that I have to kill in this room are the 4 strays. The next section of the level introduces these crushers, which will instantly kill any enemy that stands under them. So obviously, I'm just gonna let every enemy get crushed by the crusher, so I don't have to be the one responsible for killing them. I take the secret route to the last room in the level to skip the room that locks you in with the swords machine, and then kill every enemy in that room with the crushers lying around. So the final total of kills in this level is only 4. I decide to buy the marksman in O-3 because I know that I'm going to have to fight the swords machine in this level, but that's the only thing that I'm going to have to fight, which means this level is a very simple, very straightforward single kill. However, I forgot to pick up the shotgun. This will become important later on. O-4 is an incredibly straightforward level. I have to kill every enemy in the first room, and then can skip every single enemy for the rest of the level. It's pretty simple. Do I really need to explain how many enemies you need to kill in O-5? Because it's 2. So after going through every level in Prelude, you need 11 kills in O-1, 4 kills in O-2, 1 in O-3, 16 in O-4, and then 2 in O-5, which gives us a total of 34 required kills for Prelude. Just like Prelude, the first encounter of Limbo is completely unskippable. Now you might be thinking, why not just take the secret exit and go on to 1-2? Well, that's because the secret exit in 1-1 doesn't actually bring you to 1-2. It brings you right back to 1-1 all over again. So we have to kill these 6 drones. And then for the rest of the level, there isn't any forced encounters. We grab the nail gun, make our way to the end of the level until the final room where once again we're forced to kill every enemy in this room, which gives us a final total of 18 kills for this level. Now to get the minimum amount of kills on 1-2, I needed the jumpstart nail gun. Problem is, I'm stupid and bought the sharpshooter in 1-1, which means I didn't have enough points to buy the jumpstart. So I had to go back to 1-1, farm some points, and then come back to 1-2. It was a whole waste of my time. But anyway, we got the jumpstart, skip half the level, and then go and complete the final room, with the total kill count being 30 for 1-2. 1-3 is incredibly simple. Just go and nab the blue skull, put it on the pedestal, kill the hideous mess, and leave the level with a single kill. Now you might be thinking that 1-4 is an incredibly straightforward level. You go in, you kill V2, you leave with 1 kill. However, you don't actually kill V2 in 1-4. he just kind of runs away. So technically, the final kill count for 1-4 is 0 kills. So our final kill counts for Limbo are 18 in 1-1, 30 in 1-2, 1 in 1-3, and 0 in 1-4. This gives us a total of 49 kills for Limbo. Added on to the 34 we already have in Prelude already makes our total upwards of 83 kills. Rather fittingly, Lost is actually very friendly towards a least kill run, with the first level being completely skippable. 2-2 follows on with 2-1, with it being possible to kill 0 enemies in this level by simply breaking all the power boxes, running away, and then skipping the rail cannon by jumping around this weird out of bounds area of the map. I don't know why this is still in the game, but whatever, we'll take these. 2-3 can be almost entirely skipped by performing this clip, which quite literally requires you to bang your head against the wall until you fall through the map. As you can see from my health, I then failed to reach the checkpoint a few times, before actually hitting the checkpoint from underneath the map and making my way to the final room, in which I then had to kill all of the enemies in the final room, which landed me with a final kill count of 12. The most interesting part of 2-4 was I didn't have a rail cannon, so I couldn't clip out the map and nuke straight to Minos, which means I actually had to fight the hand for once. Other than that, this level is 1 kill. So to sum up the kills in the last layer, 2-1 and 2-2 both had 0 kills, while 2-3 had 12 kills and 2-4 only had 1 kill, making the total for the last layer only 13 kills, and increasing our game total to 96. 3-1 is actually a surprisingly interesting level because a lot of the forced encounters in this level can be completely skipped by making all of the enemies run into the acid that layers the floor. You can kill strays, street cleaners, drones, and even mine flares in this acid, which makes completing this level really long, but it also reduces the amount of enemies that you need to kill drastically. This level does still have 2 required enemy encounters, that being the triple sub room and this room with all of the soldiers and the Maurices. Other than those 2 rooms, every other room can either be ran straight through or cheesed using the acid on the floor. This means that our total kill count for 3-1 is 18 kills. Just like 1-4, in 3-2 you don't actually kill Gabriel, rather you just make him run away like the little bitch that he is. So the total kill count for this level is 0. I just want to point out that this fight is way harder than Gabriel 2. Like Gabriel 1 is probably one of the harder fights in the game, whereas Gabriel 2 is definitely one of the easier fights in the game, which I just think is really funny. The Gluttony layer was a very simple layer, with 3-1 giving us a total of 18 kills and 3-2 a total of 0 kills. Adding the 18 kills from this layer onto the 96 from the last 3 gives us a new total of 114 kills to beat Act 1 of ULTRAKILL.
You insignificant fuck! This is not over!
Act 2 is where the number of kills required really starts to ramp up. But not the first level though, I mean you all know how this level goes, you just jump over it. It's kind of funny that you can just jump over the first level of Act 2, to be honest. The first half of 4-2 is completely skippable. You don't have to fight a single enemy until you get to the whole dual wielding section of the level, and then you have to fight a lot of enemies very quickly. Now I do know that technically you can pick up these skulls before you have to fight the enemies, which means you can technically get away with only fighting the insurrectionist in this level. I just don't know how you do that. So I didn't do it. I mean, if you really care that much, just make your own video or something. I don't know. I don't care. So anyway, we get both of the skulls, put them on the pedestals, kill the insurrectionist, and get out of this level. The total kill count for 4-2 being 38 kills. 4-3 starts as any good level should, by jumping through a hole in the ceiling and skipping to the end of the level. But unlike 0-1, the end of the level doesn't load when you load the final room. So I actually have to go through and kill all of the enemies in the final room, which means the total kills for this level is going to be stubbornly high despite me jumping through most of it. With just that one room being cleared, 4-3 manages to rack up another 28 kills onto our counter. 4-4 is where we're finally forced to actually kill V2. But we also managed to gain his arm in the process, so it's kinda like a win-lose situation. I mean, you've all seen the V2 fight before, right? Like, it's nothing special. The dude that just runs around in circles, occasionally jumps to like one side of the map for some reason. You parry his attacks, you dodge his nail gun, you shoot him, doesn't got much health, jumps out the window, slides down the map, dies. It's really nothing special. Then there are these two filth, a schism, and a Maurice right at the end of the level, just so you can test out the whiplash. And of course, me muscle memorying into killing them with my gun, which I'm not meant to do. So I had to reload the whole level, kill V2 again just to get back to this bit of the level, and let the filth jump off the map. And then just out of spite I gave the schism a little bit of a helping hand in falling off the map, and then killed the Maurice and left the level with a total kill count of just 2. Greed really was a step up in the number of kills that were needed to beat this layer, and the first level started out not even killing a single enemy. 4-1 gave us 0 kills, 4-2 gave us 38, with 4-3 following that up with another 28 kills, and then 4-4 finishing it out with 2 more. This puts the total for Greed at a staggering 68 kills, which then increases our full game total up to 182. Remember earlier when I said that I was an idiot and forgot the shotgun in 0-3 and how that would come back to bite me later? Yeah, later is now. After clearing this first room in 5-1, I can jump through a hole in the map to reach a specific checkpoint later in the level and skip the entire skull portion of the level. Only problem is, without having overpump, I have no way of getting up there. So I need to go back to 0-3 to get the shotgun, to come back to 5-1 to skip half the level. After finding the checkpoint I'm looking for and skipping the secret exit because I don't want to play 5-S, cry about it, I then make my way through the final arena to clear the level, with the total kill count for 5-1 being 30 kills. 5-2 really isn't that interesting. You jump over the first half of the level, you break the idol, kill the filth, go into this room with the other 2 idols, kill all the enemies in there, and then go and give the ferryman your money. Now I do know, yet again, there is a way to get this blue skull early without fighting all the enemies, and yet again, I don't know how you do that. So I didn't do it. Cry about it. It's very important to note here that idols do not count as an enemy when you kill them. They do not increase the number of kills in the game scoreboard at all. So technically, according to Hakita, they don't count, meaning that the total kill count for 5-2 is only 10 enemies. 5-3 is a long old level with a lot of enemies in it that we have to kill. So we start off by taking the path of the blue skull, because it's got less required enemies to kill than the red skull. And then we skip every enemy we can until the big staircase room, and then we clear all of that out, remembering that the idol doesn't count as a kill until we get to the dual wield room, where we clear all that out, get the rocket launcher, and then go through the entire inverted section of the ship, killing what we have to, until we get to the end of the level. 5-3 easily clocks in as the biggest level yet, with a massive total of 58 required kills. And then 5-4 is the complete opposite, and the only thing to kill is Leviathan. 1 kill. Wrath was easily the biggest layer yet, despite having, well, only 1 kill in 5-4, with 5-1 having 30 kills, 5-2 having 10, 5-3 having 58, and then 5-4 having 1 kill. If you thought the total for Greed was high, this is going to make that look like nothing, because the Wrath total is 99 required kills to beat the layer. This brings the current game total all the way up to 281. Heresy puts a stop to Act 2's runaway kill count though, with the first half of the level having the short room with 2 Maurices and a swords machine to go through, and then the weird blood room thing. I don't know what these are. I don't really think anyone knows what these are, but that room is also required. After clearing up that room, you can jump into some lava and be teleported onto the wrong side of a room to completely skip it, and then jump over the rest of the level. It's that easy. And then you have to take out the final room, but it's really not that bad considering that we're this far into the game. After clearing up that final gauntlet, 6-1 is beaten with 35 total kills. Our rematch with Gabriel doesn't end like our rematch with V2. At least, not yet. Gabriel will once again escape with his life, meaning that the total kill count for this level will be 0. I genuinely don't have anything to say about this fight because it's just such a pushover. So with that being said, the kill count for 6-1 was 35 kills, and the kill count for 6-2 was 0, meaning that our Heresy kill count is 35. Which means that the total kill count for beating Act 1 and Act 2 of ULTRAKILL is now 316 required kills. We're starting violence off for a long one here, with 7-1 being one of the longest levels in the game. After making our way through the labyrinth, grabbing the skull and turning on the little alpha switch, the first 2 rooms full of mannequins must be cleared. And then we can grab the blue skull and make our merry way along until the Minotaur breaks down the wall, kills a Maurice for us, which I'm not going to count that as a kill. Hey, I didn't touch him, it wasn't my fault. And then we clear out the rest of this room before going back and getting the blue skull again, to go put the blue skull back down again, to clear out another room, to go get the blue skull again, to go put the blue skull back down again, to then go to the tram section of the level. The tram section starts off by throwing 3 carts full of 3 different enemies at you that you have to kill. And now that I think about it, the Minotaur's gonna kill the last one for me, so I didn't have to kill those guys. -3 from the final score. But anyway, after all those guys are taken care of, you have to take care of the Minotaur, which isn't too hard, and doesn't yet count as a kill, because it's not actually dead yet. What does count as a kill is when you kill it the second time. Yeah, it's definitely dead now. After accounting for every enemy that the Minotaur killed, which is 8 by the way, it kills 8 enemies throughout the level, we end up with a final total of 38 kills. There really isn't anything special to be said about 7-2 because the challenge of the level is quite literally to not kill any enemies. So all you have to do to beat the level without killing any enemies is take the secret entrance to the tram, and then take the secret path at the end of the level, and you'll beat the level with 0 kills. Crazy, I know. 7-3 is a very interesting level for this challenge, because the blood mannequins don't count as kills. And also, this is the only level in the game where the enemies will go out of their way to kill each other. So once you get to the part of the level where they start fighting amongst themselves, you can just kind of stand back, watch the fireworks happen, and let everything do the dirty work for you. Usually, however, at the end of these big encounters amongst themselves, one enemy will be left as like the survivor, like the winner of the battle, I suppose. So you will have to intervene and kill 1 or 2 enemies here or there. But overall, this enemy infighting turns a level that could have absolutely ballooned the required kills to be not that bad in the grand scheme of things. This does, however, present a really large issue for this challenge, because the enemy infighting is incredibly inconsistent. I personally had to kill 1 soldier, 2 gutter tanks, and a random filth that got stuck in a wall, because that happens very frequently on this level, on top of the 11 enemies that don't fight each other in this level, which brung my personal counter up to 15 enemies. But that could be different if I replayed the level 10, 15, 100 times. But for now, I'm just going to stick with 15 as the final kill total for 7-3. And finally, 7-4, the big climax to this whole run, is a massive anticlimax, because we just skip the entire level, go straight inside the machine, kill the brain, do the final arena and leave. Okay, that's not entirely fair to 7-4. For the final time, you can get a bunch of filth to kill themselves. Other than that, everything I just said is completely true though. So for the last level in the game, the total kill count is just 12. Violence actually ended up surprising me with how few kills you actually need to beat it, with 7-1 being the biggest by far with 38 kills required, 7-2 requiring no kills, 7-3 requiring 15 and 7-4 requiring 12, which adds up to be a total of 65 kills to beat Violence. Adding everything together from the entire game gives us the answer to our question from the beginning of the video. The answer to how many kills it takes to beat ULTRAKILL is 381 required kills that you must perform on the enemies of this game. I don't really know what I was expecting considering the game that I'm playing, but that seems really high, especially for how short this game is. But hey, that's the answer we've got, scientifically proven, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe so we can hit 100k by 2050.